Haleigh gave herself a mental shake. Jessie's story wasn't remotely the same as hers.
"Real men don't walk away from responsibility,"
Cooper stated, repeating the words he'd once spoken to Haleigh.
"Tell me where to find him and I'll teach the little pecker a lesson."
He'd made a similar threat 13 years ago, but then he hadn't been much of a threat to the class jock, and Haleigh hadn't wanted to see him get hurt on her behalf. Today, she had no doubt Cooper could beat the stuffing out of anyone stupid enough to take him on. She almost wished she knew where to find David Stapleton now. "Let's stay rational here," she said, speaking as much to herself as to Cooper. "Are you sure there isn't anyone we can call? Where are you staying here in town?" "I didn't make it far enough to find a place to stay before I went into labor," Jessie said. "That's why Cooper found me where he did. It was pouring rain when the pains hit, so I ducked into the first dry place I could find. I thought they'd go away, and then once it stopped raining, I'd move on." "Move on to where?" Did the girl realize that you didn't tuck a baby into your purse and wander off to parts unknown? Jessie shrugged. "A motel, I guess. I had a couple weeks to go. I thought I had more time to figure this stuff out before she got here." "Figure what stuff out?" Haleigh asked. "Jessie, what are you doing in Ardent Springs if you don't know anyone here?" The teen toyed with the end of the sheet. With her eyes locked on the foot of the bed, she said, "I'm here to find my father."
"Great," Cooper said. "Give us his number and we'll call him."
The stubborn chin jutted out again. "I can't. I haven't found him yet." The mystery of Jesse Rogers grew more complicated by the second. "I'm confused." Haleigh propped a hip on the foot of the bed. "What do you mean you haven't found him yet? Do you have an address?" "All I have is a name. Well," Jessie hedged, "initials. Mama said he went by J.T., and that he was from Ardent Springs, Tennessee." Cooper leaned a hand on the bed rail.
"You mean you've never met your father?"
Bright red locks swung as Jessie shook her head. "I always thought Calvin was my dad. He was married to Mama when I was a little girl, and it wasn't until I got pregnant that she told me the truth. She didn't remember much about my real father except for the J.T. part, where he was from and that he was older and had a family already before getting Mama pregnant." "How old was your mother when she had you?" Haleigh asked. 18. Great. To an 18-year-old, 25 was ancient. This mystery father could be anywhere from 40 to 70 by now. Whoever he was, they weren't going to locate him before Jessie and the baby were released, and Haleigh was not about to let this girl leave the hospital without having a safe, stable place to stay. Haleigh contemplated solutions. There were no shelters for miles, and a newborn couldn't be exposed to the germs present in a group home anyway. Haleigh caught a glimpse of Cooper in her peripheral vision, and an idea formed. He'd put himself into the hero role once this evening. It was time to see how heroic he was willing to be. "Cooper, I need to see you in the hall," she said, motioning for him to follow. "Where are you going?" Jessie asked. "This will only take a minute," Haleigh answered, pulling the door closed after Cooper stepped into the hall. When she turned to once again find him looming above her, she took a step back. "We can't let that girl leave this hospital without someplace to go."
"Agreed,"
Cooper said, carrying none of the flirtatious nature of a few minutes ago.
"I doubt she has enough money to afford more than a night or two at a motel."
"She can't take a newborn to a motel."
"Then where else can she go?"
he asked. Here went nothing. Haleigh took a steadying breath and said, "You need to take Jessie and the baby home with you." He could not have heard her right.
"Are you crazy?"
Haleigh didn't flinch at the outburst. "You found her. You helped her give birth, and you're apparently the only person she knows in this town."
"Well,"
Cooper said, floundering,
"she knows you, too."
"Don't be ridiculous. You know I can't take her home with me."
"And I can't take her home with me."
"Why not?"
"How about because I'm a grown man and that's a young girl? And that doesn't even touch the fact that she comes with a newborn baby."
"You're being unreasonable," Haleigh said.